Greetings and welcome to NECAT Now, a show where we explore Nashville and Middle Tennessee to tell you all about the great people, places, and events that take place right here in Music City. I'm your host, McCasland, coming to you from the NECAT studio right here in Nashville. On today's show, we welcome Jenn, who is the Director of Programs and Events at Centennial Park Conservancy. She specializes in creating impactful community experiences through events such as Kidsville, Musicians Corner, and Nashville Earth Day. Beyond her role at the Conservancy, Jenn is deeply committed to supporting other local nonprofits and serves as a board member for Amqui Station in Madison, Tennessee, and volunteers as a transport coordinator for the Nashville Wildlife Conservation Center. Through her work, Jenn continues to foster connections and promote environmental and cultural stewardship throughout the region. Jenn, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to have you here. Centennial Park is one of my favorite spots. Previous to my time at NECAT, I had an office that was like right across the street. And I feel like every day for a year while I was making this documentary, I used to sit on the steps and eat my lunch out there.
Amazing.
And through, it's like every part of my Nashville journey, it's been there. Like when I was in my 20s, we used to go fly kites out there. When I had my kids and they were young, we'd go play and do all that kind of stuff. And even today, like we stop in from time to time and make all kinds of fun stuff. But I would ask you, like, do you have a favorite place in the park to just go hang out?
I love the Sunken Gardens. That's one of my favorites, but also the Parthenon is so fun. I love the art museum at the bottom. Obviously, I'm partial to the Musicians Corner because I spend so much time there. There's not a bad spot in the park, though.
Are you, so like with thinking on that, it's like I know there are people that like they use the park for very specific reasons. Like maybe they only jog through the park, or maybe they only have ever come to see the museum. What are some of the hidden gems you think in that space where, like, if you didn't know it was there to look for it, you wouldn't even see it?
You know, we've just revitalized the band shell, so that is a space that I'm really excited to see what people do in the coming year or so, because it hasn't been used very much, but it's got a lot of updates to it, and so I'm excited to see some productions happen there. The Sunken Gardens are beautiful. A lot of people know about the Taylor Swift bench, which of course is so popular, and I love that. The Children's Memory Garden is a really beautiful spot. The little ellipse in front of the lake, you can go feed the geese and the ducks. Not bread though. Get some frozen peas and take out there for the birds.
Someone told me that a long time ago because we used to take just a big bag of Wonder Bread and they're like, oh, they like peas better than that.
Yeah, so feeding them bread can actually give them what's called angel wing, and they aren't able to use their wing, which can lead to them not being able to find food or eat well. So you really want to stay away from the bread. But frozen peas are a great treat for the birds, and it won't harm them, which is key.
Always great to get that information because we want to take care of our
we want to take care of our wildlife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and the bees. The bees are in the island in the middle, which a lot of people don't know. We have beehives out in the middle of the park.
Yeah, there's a ton of flowers in that park.
There are.
Like, when it comes to summer, any favorite space for flowers if someone's going to, I know it's winter now, so we're not really looking at that. But
I would say the Sunken Garden is the best place for flowers. Obviously, the Great Lawn is great if you want to play sports or let your kids just run free. So
you work inside the Conservancy, and that's different than the actual park. Can you talk a little bit about what the Conservancy does?
So we are a nonprofit. A lot of people think that we are Metro, but we're not Metro. We partner closely with Metro, and we are always so grateful for their support. But we're a nonprofit that supports the park and the Parthenon. So my role is to support our major events that we have, which includes Earth Day and Musicians Corner and Kidsville, Family Festival, Kidsville the Parthenon, and first up this year, Kidsville Family Walk in February.
That's awesome. I feel like every time I check the calendar, like every day and every weekend, there's something going on. But I do want to get into Kidsville, but it's like, as far as the walk goes, what does that consist of? Like, how do people find out about it and get registered and whatnot?
So you can go to Kidsville online, and we have all the information up there. It is just an excuse to get out of the house when it's been a gray, dreary winter and get the kids moving, have a reason to get outside. We are going to do a walk around Lake Watauga, which will include our Storybook Walk. The Storybook Walk is up year-round, but because of some construction coming up, we're going to be moving it. So the Family Walk will kick off the new location on the opposite side of Watauga Lake, or Lake Watauga. And then we're going to have a lot of local other nonprofits and businesses there. The Country Music Hall of Fame is bringing their DIY instruments. Dancing People Nashville is going to be there doing a dance party for the kids. We're going to have a couple food trucks, coffee and hot chocolate for the parents and the kids. And let's see, Primrose Schools will be there. And a few other people. So it's going to be a fun little afternoon to be out in the park and not be cooped up in the house.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I know we were out there at the end of fall for Celebrate Nashville and did that event. And then we're coming up again, Chinese New Year, which is actually on the day we're taping this, I think we're on day 2 of the Chinese New Year, but we're there February 8th for that ourselves. But again, it's like Centennial Park is like the place where it's happening in town, because no matter when you drop in, it seems like there's something going on
Always
that
something.
you can do. And at the same time, like, there are quiet spots in the middle of this very bustling cityscape at this point. It's kind of like the one big piece of grass that's like
It's true.
right there. You can play and
Yeah, throw a
do all the
blanket
fun
doan.
stuff.
Do you remember the hammock people from back in
I
the
do
day?
remember the hammock people back in the day. I always tell people, like, I talked about flying kites before, but like me and a friend of mine, we bought this kite and we used to get like fishing line, and we would see how high can we get it up in the sky. And one day I feel like we tied we had 500 yards, and we
God.
tied another 500 yards, just kept going. And at the end of the day, we spent like an hour and a half just like tangling back up this huge ball of what started out as like this little thing, is this big spool. So it's one of my favorite history pieces from my own personal thing. But real quick, we're going to have to take a quick break. But when we return, we will hear more from Jenn Ross about the upcoming Kidsville Family Walk event at Centennial Park on February 15th. So stay tuned for more, and we'll see you right back after the break.
Television has changed since we first hit the airwaves back in 1978. From tiny static-filled screens with rabbit ears coming out on top and 19 cable channels to choose from, to giant high-definition displays with seemingly endless choices to watch on demand. In that same time, we've seen our city grow from the quaint home of country music to a shining metropolis offering the very best in entertainment, technology, and education. While Nashville, like our viewing habits, has changed, NECAT's mission remains. Expose Middle Tennessee viewers to the best there is to offer from television made locally in Nashville and around the world. To teach individuals and organizations who wish to make film and TV shows how to do so in our studio, using the resources and state-of-the-art equipment to create and broadcast to the public watching at home. A unique place founded on free speech with access for the public. A commercial-free space where imagination triumphs and creativity blossoms through diversity, equity, and inclusion. A dream factory where people can find community and develop the skills needed to have their unique voices heard. From humble beginnings, the spotlight continues to grow brighter. Step into it with us. Nashville Education Community Arts Television. NECAT, powered by Nashville Public Library.
Welcome back to NECAT Now. If you're just now joining us today, our guest is Jenn Ross from the Centennial Park Conservancy. Their mission is to sustain the vibrancy of Nashville's Centennial Park, home to the historic Parthenon, by supporting metro parks and revitalizing and activating this public green space to ensure the park remains a welcoming destination for recreation, culture, education, and community connection. Coming up on Saturday, February 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can enjoy the Kidsville Family Walk right there in the park. Again, super exciting for this, but Kidsville is more than just the walk. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Kidsville is a lot of things. We have Kidsville programming run by our incredible Kidsville manager, Kyla, in the Parthenon every Saturday if we don't have an event in the park. So families can actually get in the Parthenon for free between 10:30 and 11:20 a.m. if they have kids 12 and under. And we have educational programming. Imagination Library might come and read a book. We might have someone come play music. We might have someone come talk about nature, and there's games and a craft. So it's a great way for parents to get out of the house and get to see the Parthenon and see Athena. We also have teachers in 5 community centers around the city doing arts education and music education for kids in those community centers after school. We have the Kidsville Family Walk coming up February 15th and the Kidsville Family Festival in September.
So for people that want to participate in the walk, we said it happens at 11 o'clock on February 15th. Where do they need to meet for when this starts at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, so all these events, by the way, are free for families. There's no charge and no tickets. You can just show up. You can register in advance for the Parthenon events. But Kidsville Family Walk is going to be between kind of the Parthenon and the bandshell area. So if you come into the park from the Sportsplex side, you'll be able to see us. We'll be right there on the banks of Lake Watauga. We're going to have food trucks, the Inca trailer and Roscoe's Barbecue and Roast and Brews will be there with coffee and hot chocolate for the kids, coffee for the parents, because I know they need it. And then we'll have vendors like Dancing People Nashville doing a dance party. We'll have Country Music Hall of Fame with their DIY instruments. Metro Nashville Nature Centers will be there. Vanderbilt Athletics will be there. We're going to have Primrose Schools and Safe Splash Swim Schools. It's going to be a big day.
Everybody, it sounds like that's fun to
be
be
there.
around.
Yeah.
Is going to be in that space that day. That's super cool. Well, we talked a little bit about some of your favorite stuff to see and some of my favorite stuff to see in the park, but I want to go to our viewers at home and tell them a few fun facts about Centennial Park that for everyone that's watching. Outside around the park, you'll find a host of historical statues, new and old, that tell the history of the people who made Nashville what it is today. Within the park, you're going to find the centerpiece, which is the Parthenon, which opened in 1897 as part of the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. Inside of that, you're going to find an art gallery with all kinds of paintings that continue to tell the story of Nashville. The Parthenon itself was renovated in 2001, with the Athena statue inside debuting to the public the following year in 2002. This May is going to mark the 25th anniversary of that event, which is pretty exciting. Something's going to come up to mark that. I don't know if you can talk about any of that at this point.
Oh, we'll have to wait to talk about that one, but there will be fun things happening.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff that happens in that room. I know the candlelight concerts and the different kind of things. Can you talk about a little bit that experience? Like, if you've never seen the Athena and you walk into that room, what is the sensation that most people get when they see it for the first time?
I love seeing people walk in and see Athena for the first time. She's coated in gold now, and she's 42 feet tall, and she's holding, I don't remember which Greek character is in her hand, but he's 6 feet tall and he looks tiny from the floor. So she has a very commanding presence. And we have the Fever Candlelight concerts, which are incredible. We also have our Echo chamber music series. Sister Strings is actually going to be doing a show on February 6th. And we have Lachlan Strings. We have the Fisk Jubilee Singers coming up. So all that info is on our conservancyonline.com website. But it's a very cool way to experience the Parthenon.
Yeah, and I would say I don't know that everything is free, but there's so many.
Those are not free.
Yeah,
yes,
those are not. But it's like there's a lot of free events, a lot of free music
events
to see, but some of that is ticketed stuff.
Yes,
so just
some
be
is
aware.
ticketed.
If someone wanted to find out more information about this stuff, where could they find it online?
So conservancyonline.com is our main website that you can kind of get to everything else. But we also have musicianscornernashville.com, Nashville Earth Day, and the kidsvilleonline.org, I believe.
Any suggestions for the people that are going to be coming out for Kidsville that you would say, like, hey, bring this or don't wear this, or, you know, it's like, because are we rain or shine at this point?
We are rain or shine events. Obviously, if there's, lightning or high winds, we're going to evacuate everyone from the space, but fingers crossed we have good weather this year. So dress for the weather. Dress, if it's going to rain, put on those rain boots and come out and join us. We'll splash through some puddles.
Yeah, I'd say wear your comfy sneakers if you can. Fingers crossed that we get some great weather that weekend.
You never know around here.
Yeah, today all kinds of rains. I think I just saw the light flicker in the back of the studio, but so it goes on that. Again, give me the dates one more time for our viewers at home if they're planning on coming out. The dates of where they can find you in the park.
Yes, so Kidsville Family Walk is Saturday, February 15th. It is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's a shorter event, so don't miss it. And then Nashville Earth Day is coming up on April 19th, and that's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That sounds awesome. We'll talk a little bit about Earth Day after the break. But again, we are going to need to take a quick break right here on NECAT now. But stay with us to find out more about all the great things that are happening down at Centennial Park, including Earth Day here in Nashville, and as well as the Kidsville Family Walk, which is coming up Saturday, February 15th, like Jen told us before. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Metro Arts' vision is that every person should have access to a creative life, and few places are more accessible than our city's public library. Metro Arts launched the collection in partnership with Nashville Public Library, established with the goals of expanding access to the arts for all Nashvillians while providing direct support to local artists. 60 original artworks from Nashville area artists are available for anyone with a library card to check out at NPL's Donaldson, East, Green Hills, Hermitage, Madison, Old Hickory, and Southeast locations. For more information and to browse the collection online, please visit library.nashville.gov.
What's NECAT?
A place for anyone.
Sure. NECAT Network.
That's Nashville Education, Community, and Arts Television.
Everyone knows that.
But did they know that NECAT runs 3 television stations that serve counties all over Middle Tennessee?
We know that! But what a lot of people don't know is that NECAT is also an active community partner.
That's right. We're more than a television network. We love Nashville, and we love supporting as many organizations any way we can.
From Friends Life to Nashville Predators Foundation, NECAT provides studio access and training to help community organizations. So when you think of NECAT,
remember, we're way more than a television station.
We're Nashville. Thank you,
Welcome back once again to NECAT Now. I'm your host, Cameron McCasland, in conversation with Jenn Ross from the Centennial Park Conservancy. In our last segment, we discussed Kidsville Family Walk, which is coming up on Saturday, February 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Jen, we're super excited about that, obviously, but there's so many other great things happening in the park. I want to talk a little bit about Musicians Corner, and I know that's something that you kind of take care of. What is Musicians Corner for the people that watching at home that have never been to the park before?
Sure. Musicians Corner is our free live music series. It happens mid-May to mid-June and again in September. All the dates are on our website, musicianscornernashville.com, but it's free music. We have food trucks, we have local artisan vendors and small business. We have the MC Pub and our merch tent, and we have the Kidsville area. So it is family friendly. Bring the kids and the dogs, bring your parents, bring your date.
Yeah.
Come hang out in the park.
Awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And I know you guys just opened up like applications for food trucks and things like that.
Yes.
If they want to get in touch with you to be involved, how do they do that?
MusicansCornerNashville.com. We are now taking applications for our food trucks and our artisan vendors and local businesses who want to come be a part of it. So
I know this program has been happening. Is there a favorite artist from the past that you were like, oh, I saw something spectacular? I know they're all great. I know they're all great. But is there like a favorite of yours where you're like, oh, this is my favorite show that I saw in the past?
You know, there's been so many, and one of them was when Vince Gill came and played for our 15th season last year, and on the same day my friend Rachel got to play on the acoustic stage, so that was probably a highlight for me.
Very cool. And that's a great point too. It's like there's multiple stages with this. Can you break that down a little bit for us?
Sure. So Lightning 100 sponsors our Lightning 100 acoustic stage. So in between the full bands on the main stage, we have a little side stage where acoustic acts can come play that maybe you haven't heard of, but will probably love.
And you get a little bit from all genres. Obviously, Vince Gill, you know, country music superstar, but rock and roll music, independent artists, you know, everybody from your big time Grammy winners to the people that are just getting their start in the music business. What a great event for a great town that just already has such a music vibe in it.
It does feel great to provide free access to music in a town that does seem to be getting more expensive every day. That people can bring their kids and their families and have a fun night in the park. And
what on a usual day, what time does that type of event start and end for people that
on Friday nights, it's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on Saturdays, it is 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
And all of that is free to attend?
All of it's free.
Parking is free in the park, obviously,
if you can find it.
Yeah.
We encourage carpooling and taking the bus.
Yeah. Well, and that's a great point. WeGo is such a great partner with all of the different metro parks. But we tell people all the time, get on the bus. You will meet other people that are
true.
Enjoying the
We had a WeGo bus at Earth Day last year.
Yeah. You guys got to get an acoustic player on the WeGo bus on the way to the thing. That's
Southwest used to do people on their planes. Maybe we could do one on a bus.
That would be very cool. Again, I want to go back and just kind of talk through the different things. Like you've got all this great music that's in the park. I would say how do you think people are using that space outside of like the events? Because like just the people that come every day. What are you seeing people do inside of the park, just as a person that's there a lot?
Yeah, I love walking through the park and seeing just how many ways people find to use the space. There's people from Vanderbilt studying, maybe in the grass just with a blanket, having a little picnic. There's some companies in town that do picnics for people, so they'll come set it up for you, and those always look incredible. There's people doing sports. There's like break dancers that come and hang out by the Parthenon. There's dancers, there's rollerbladers and dogs, and I love the dogs, of course.
Yeah. And you already spoke a little bit about the Taylor Swift bench earlier, but like whenever she was in town for the concert, how many people do you think stopped by to take a photograph?
I think there was a line. I think they had a line at the bench for a little while, and we have a sticker with the bench on it on our website if people want to go purchase that and support us.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's like if they want to find you on the web or how they can support the Conservancy, how do they find you again?
ConservancyOnline.com. You can become a member and support the park in a sustaining way. You can purchase t-shirts, or you can purchase honey from the bees on the island in the park, which is very cool.
See, that's the thing I didn't know. So I know there's bees out there, but obviously I didn't know that you could get the honey from the park.
Yeah, the National Beekeepers Association takes care of them, and we sell the honey on our website and in the Parthenon store.
Very cool.
Yeah, so if you need local honey for those allergies.
Thinking about that, it's like I know there's like Metro Arts has programs that are there in the park. There's obviously all the different people that, just like we talked about the joggers and the picnickers and all the other stuff. But again, like if you haven't been inside of the Parthenon, I would tell people watching home, like buy the ticket and take the tour. I don't know how many years I had gone to the park before I was like, oh, I'm going to go check this out. And like you walk in and you go, this is all inside of here? That's crazy because like it's a big building, but when you get inside, it's like to see that room and see Athena for the first time. And we talked about this over the break, but it was Nike that was
in her hand.
In the hand, which was super
cool.
interesting. So, again,
and they have events there all the time, focused on the art, focused on Greek mythology and the statues that they have. So there's always fun things going on in there.
So I would tell I know like when I was there, Rotiers was still next door, which is long gone.
Yep.
Which I hate. But is there a place down in that general area if they don't hit the food trucks, if they want to go get a sit-down meal, is there a favorite restaurant you have that's close by?
Oh, well, we're actually about to put a cafe in the back of the park in the old Croquet building, so it will be the Croquet Cafe. So the back end of the park is about to be totally revitalized, and we're adding a cafe with bathrooms, which will be fabulous. We hope to break ground on that sometime this year. But right now, probably, if you want to go like old school Nashville fancy, I would say Bricktops, but my go-to is Chipotle. Donovan taste.
Smart. I love it. Okay, so we're going to take one more quick break, but we'll be right back with more from Jenn Ross telling you all her favorite places to eat near Centennial Park after these messages.
Did you know Metro Arts and Nashville Public Library have a free lending library? Library card holders can choose from a selection of artworks by local Nashville artists and borrow for up to 3 months. The collection includes framed paintings, photographs, and mixed media. After 3 months, bring the artwork back and borrow a different piece. Available at Donaldson, East, Green Hills, Hermitage, Madison, Old Hickory, and Southeast branches of Nashville Public Library. For more information and to browse the collection online, please visit library.nashville.gov.
Hi, I'm Corey Frederick from the Goodlettsville Branch Library. Did you know that you could get a free library card at any Nashville Public Library branch or online at library.nashville.gov?
Welcome back to NECAT Now. We have been learning about the Centennial Park Conservancy and all the great events that they have coming up from our guest today, Jenn Ross. Once again, I want to remind our viewers at home about the Kidsville Family Walk, which is coming up Saturday, February 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Jenn, it's going to be so cool to see all those people in the park for the Kidsville event.
Yes.
But again, I want to go back and just try to cover as many of the different things that are happening in the park as possible. What is something else that you would tell us about that makes you excited?
Well, after the Kidsville Family Walk, our next event is Nashville Earth Day, which is on Saturday, April 19th. It's one of my favorite events. It is a huge event, and it is all about conservation and sustainability and how everybody in Nashville can take steps to being more sustainable, even if you don't own a house or even if you can't buy an electric car, what steps we can all take. Even if you live in an apartment and can't have a garden, what can you do to make that small difference? And we have the Earth Talks tent, which is a tent full of speakers all day talking about that type of thing. And we're partnering with TEDx on that this year. So
that is super exciting. I know like this last year of my life, we spent a lot of time making a documentary here at NECAT about sustainability in Nashville. So I got to have a lot of cool conversations with a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
And Centennial Park was kind of one of those things that we looked at from like, oh, this is like where it starts in town. It's like this is where you need to be to promote the thing that you're doing, but also like to get all the people that know what they're talking about, get them on the thing. So it's super exciting every year. And there are a lot of people out there.
A lot of people. I think we had 140 vendors last year, which was really amazing. And people came and learned so much. We have the Kidsville area there as well, and we have music on the stage. We have about 130 vendors and exhibitors from all kinds of organizations, and then food trucks, of course, so you can buy food. Walk Bike Nashville is there, so if you ride your bike, we have a bike valet. And the coolest part about this event, in my opinion, is that because we see this as a community event, we donate all of the proceeds back out into the community through the Nashville Earth Day grant program. So last year we were able to donate $60,000 to 15 other nonprofits in Nashville, which is very fun. It's very fun to give people money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I don't know how many people are out there, but I think people come out because like it's really like the first opportunity to shake off the winter skin, where it's like the sun's coming out.
Yes,
it's like maybe
hopefully.
it's like if the weather's right, you might be able to get your shorts on for the first time and take some sun in and all that fun stuff. But yeah, just super exciting. And again, like all those vendors, like it's hard to name them all whenever you have 100 plus vendors. Is there any one vendor you could point out to us? You're like, oh, last year I saw this, and like don't miss it. Like whether it's food or something to see.
That's a tough one because there are so many good ones. We partner with Urban Green Lab, who's doing incredible work in Nashville on sustainability education. So you got to stop by their tent. But the Earth Talks tent is probably my favorite because you get to see a little sample of a bunch of different things. Leah from High Garden Tea is going to speak this year. Grant from Shelby Park is going to speak this year. Molly and Paul from WM will speak probably on like what actually happens to recycling in Nashville. What are you supposed to recycle in Nashville?
Yeah.
No one knows, but if you come to Earth Day, you can learn.
Yeah, I would say I know I got education about what is trash and what is recycle and all this other stuff. Again, we did it once before the show, but I would plug WeGo on this.
Yes.
Take a sustainable practice. Take the bus because parking will be limited whenever you come out.
True.
But yeah, great day. That's something exciting. What else may be coming up after Earth Day or just this year that you're like? Because I know you can't tell us who's coming to the concerts yet, and you can't like give us all that information. But like, is there anything outside of Earth Day and outside of the thing with Kidsville that's right in front of us that you're like, this is the thing I always look forward to every year?
Well, Musicians Corner, which we've already talked about a little bit, obviously comes up pretty quick after Earth Day, so that's always fun to look forward to. And then the Kidsville Family Festival at the end of September is just like, it's kind of like Musicians Corner, but very kid focused. We have performers and music on the stage. We have an expanded Kidsville area. We have vendors that are kid focused, and it's all free. So it's a great way for families to come out in the park. And then of course there's, the Centennial Performing Arts Center and the Dance Performing Arts Studio. There's always fun classes and events going on in those as well.
Now, obviously, our viewers watching at home are hearing all about this on television, but if they want to keep up with you on social media or on the web, where can they find you at?
We have our Conservancy is on social, and then the Parthenon is also on Instagram and Facebook. Kidsville is on, if you just search the names, we'll pop up on all the social media platforms, but conservancyonline.com is kind of the home website that will lead you out into all those other places.
Very good. I'm going to ask you one last time, because again, we've talked about all these great places. Is there any last place in the park that you would say, like, hey, don't miss this. If you're coming out taking a walk, just a walk in the park, as they say. Yeah. Make sure to pay attention to this, where you might have walked by, but read the plaque or take notice of this. Something that you just adore, maybe. Something that people sometimes miss is the tree sculptures outside of the Parthenon, kind of along the ellipse. There's the emerald ash borer is a pest that has been killing trees, but it's one of local artists carved it into a really cool statue. So it looks like a regular tree from afar, but if you get closer, it's not. I know the locomotive left. Is it coming back? I don't believe it's coming back, but that whole end of the park will be different very soon. So. I'm excited. I've actually been watching them do the restoration at the Tennessee Rail Park, and I didn't know if it was coming back or not, but it's exciting to see what is, again, the history and how the place is growing and changing all the time. So true. 125 plus years at this point, so obviously some things are going to change, but we're out of time at this point. So thank you for being here today, Jen. I've really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you for having me. Yeah. And again, that's all the time we have today for NECAT Now. I hope you enjoyed exploring Nashville with us. To find out more about our show and how you could start your very own television show here at Nashville Education Community Arts Television, visit us on the web at necatnetwork.org. Until next time, I'm Cameron McCasland signing off for NECAT Now for the beautiful Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. See you next time.